Hello and welcome to episode 5 of this FM24 tutorial series. By now you should have hopefully set up your squad, you've reviewed your best players, you've picked a formation, been through the squad planner. It's now to look at the time to look at the staff, so stick around. Looking at the staff then on the left hand side, again a huge number of tabs along the top and each one's kind of separated, so when you're in the staff page everything on this is to do with staff, so you can't really get lost. Now the first thing to see and the first observation I would make is we're lacking on staff members, so we're 6 staff members down. You can see which ones they are on the left hand side, so we're 3 coaches down, a set piece coach down and performance analyst down as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to recruit them. Now there's multiple different ways to do this. There's putting out adverts for the jobs, so you can go to coaching, I want some coaches, it'll place an advert and in a few days you will get some interested parties coming back to look at that advert. Do we want a goalkeeping coach? Yeah, we probably will put a goalkeeping coach advert in there. And again, you do this for all the ones you want, performance analyst, etc. Let's put one for a set piece coach. So we put adverts out for coaches, set piece coach, performance analyst, etc. Let's recruit one of these just to give you an idea of how the other ways you can do it. So you can go into the staff search, and within here you can, like you're looking for players, which we haven't done yet, I appreciate, but you can do with this window, is look at number of players that are available. So again, you can filter this, you can include people who are interested. So we want people who are interested in the first team. We want to do a new search and we're looking for coaching team, coach. That's going to already sort it. We're going to look for people probably who are it doesn't matter in terms of employment, not bothered about them. In terms of coaching, we want something, what do we want really? We're terrible at finishing and attacking, so let's take someone who's good at attacking, bit of defending, and see what pops up. So there's only one coach, Alan Russell. He's unemployed, looks like a fairly good coach. We can recruit him. Now what you can do is you right click him, approach the sign, and you'll negotiate a contract. Now I'm not going to say this is you should do this with everything. Quite often if I'm in a rush I'll just accept what they want. However, it's sometimes worth just clicking 2 down to reduce the wage by a couple £100 for the club and then suggesting that term. He said no, but we're 100 down. Click it once and he's accepted it. So his initial offer of £2,000 per week we've reduced to 1,800 and signed the coach. So it's as simple as that for your coaching positions. It's the same for all the positions we've got in there. So again, we'd want to recruit a scout, some recruitment analysts, a loan manager, etc. Nothing in terms of the medical team, but that's how you would do your recruiting. Down the bottom, it gives you an idea of where you are in relation to the rest of the teams in the league. So in terms of goalkeeping, coaching, we're the best, Lecce's the worst. You can look at it for people management, again we're the best, Lecce's the worst, and it gives you a rough idea of where you are in comparison to the rest of the teams in the division. And it gives you an idea if you're moving in the right direction. So at Sampdoria, we seem to have a fantastic array of staff at the club. It's certainly the best physios. We can potentially get to the best recruitment team, and I would imagine we'll be the best coaching staff as well. So that's that side of it, and it gives you a good snapshot of where you are. So that's the overview. You can split that down into your specific teams. So again, if you just want to look at the coaching team, you can, medical and recruitment. So it's all broken down. Fairly straightforward for you to look at what you want to see. In terms of responsibilities, and that's the tab I'll cover last because I think that's the most in-depth one. Staff search we've gone through. You can search for any staff members you want. You can poach them from other clubs. You can really refine. Again, like we've looked before, you can look at attributes. You can specifically look for a very specific coach in a very specific area if that's what you want to do, and you can spend hours looking for coaches on here. So again, always best to go in here in depth, stay on top of your coaching. On my side, youth intake challenge, I've kept a lot of my coaching staff from the start of the journey all the way up. I've sent them on coaching courses, etc. But every now and then I'll just let some of them go and bring in a higher club. Perhaps if you've gone up a couple of divisions, it's worth just refreshing your coaching staff to make sure you're comparatively competing with the teams in the division. Again, you can create a shortlist if you want, so you could right click per people and then add them to a shortlist or remove them as you see fit. You've got the job centre tab. This is an idea of which jobs are open for you to take if you're wanting to change jobs. So when you're a couple of years into the game and maybe you've had enough of Sampdoria, you felt you've taken as much as you could go, or you want a new challenge, you can come on this page and see what vacancies are in there, who the candidates are, and you can apply for jobs down the bottom. In terms of job security, this gives you an even finer snapshot, so it's not just the available jobs, it will also give you the jobs that are insecure. So if I just get to the top, these are all the jobs that are available. These are all the jobs that are stable, and then you generally get them when they start to get insecure or very insecure. You can start to have an idea of which jobs might be coming up soon. So again, a number of jobs out there already. I'm not going to apply for any because we've not got any status in the game, etc. So we'll leave that. We don't even have the Dutch League open, I don't think. So nothing else to do in there. Now the one to look at, and probably the biggest tab within the staff section, is the responsibilities. This is where you can get your staff to do what you want and make the game a little bit easier in terms of managing the big picture. So what we'll do is we'll go into the board level. You can look at what your board are doing. So this is who sets the goals, provides commercial updates and options, etc. You can't really do a lot with that, but when you get into the staff, you can see in terms of general here, handles team selection. So for the first team, absolutely we want to do that, but we don't want to do it for the under 20s and the under 18s. We'll just leave that to be run by the under 18 managers. Hiring and firing the technical director of football, we can do it ourselves, or we could pass that on to the managing director or the chairperson if we didn't want to do the director of football, and the technical director as well. Hiring the first team staff, if you didn't want to do any of the hiring and firing of the first team staff, you can just straight off delegate that, and you can put it to your director of football. You could do that for all of the staff members, or you can take control. So the option is yours. If there's any you want to be specific about, so probably I would say the coaching staff is the most important in developing the players. If you're doing any kind of youth intake challenge, you might just want to take control of that side and leave the rest for somebody else, and that's well within your control. So, and likewise through everything else, you can do it for your recruitment staff. So I've got it at the minute, it's defaulted to we'll do the managers of the under 18s and the under 20s, but the rest of the staff we're not that fussed about. We're going to let the director of football sort them out. And same with coaching courses for all the staff members. I'm just going to leave it for the director of football to sort out. You can request people do coaches along the way, and you'll get them through your recruitment feedback notices through your inbox. But if you really wanted to, you could take control of that and start sorting that yourself. So that's the staff tab. Advice and reports, you can choose who you're going to get your reports from. So in terms of recruitment, his director of football's judgment of ability and potential is only 10. You might actually say, well, actually, I want the chief scout to give me my recruitment advice, and that's what I would do. He's got the best stats for judging the potential of the player, etc. You might want a little bit of analysing data in there, so maybe you'd want Roberto Baronio to do it, but I'm going to leave it at Lorenzo Gianni. Again, development advice. Head of youth development is probably going to be the best one for that, so let's change that. Player reports, again you can change that for who you want to get the reports from. Coaching advice, again we'll leave that with the assistant manager, but all of these are selectable, and it really makes the game a little bit easier for you, especially in the first time round. Again, scouting, which we haven't been through yet but will be in a later video, you can leave it to your chief scout and he will do it all for you. He will take care of it. It's absolutely fine. It's not optimized, it's not optimal, and you're not necessarily going to find all the greatest new gens in the game, but it will keep you ticking over, and it will provide you with a huge number of options for players moving forward. So again, you can take control of assigning the scouts, you can delegate your scouting meetings, but I would generally the first couple of times just leave it alone, see how you get a feel for it, and then you can tweak this again at a later date. Transfers and contracts, I think largely that's kind of the fun part for the game, so I take control of all that. Now again, if you want to play some kind of director of football type challenge and you only want to manage the team based on the players they bring in for you, then by all means delegate all this out and let them sign the players they want or they see fit for the club's ambition, and all you have to do is put them in the right place and pick the team. So again, entirely up to yourselves. I like to have control of it, but it's entirely up to you, and you can do that for various different aspects of the transfers. Into the media, again, attending press conferences, I don't mind doing them. Some people hate it. Some people would delegate all these out straight away. It's just another thing that you wouldn't have to do. The press conferences do get a bit repetitive after a while, so I don't look down on anybody who puts these out. However, I think every now and again it's nice just to keep your eye on that. And one of your development parts of your manager is speaking to the press, so sometimes it's worth staying on there. In terms of the training, again, I quite like to delegate the training out initially when I take over a club, because it lets them put in a template that I can work with at a later date. Now, we'll go through training in a later video, but for someone learning the game and getting used to the tactics and the player selection and the transfers, I think it makes sense to put all the training burden outsourced to your management team and then slowly drip feed that back into your repertoire later on. But again, some people that are really heavily involved into the training, certainly on the Youth Intake Challenge, taking the individual training enables you to really refine a player's specific role, and you can even change a player's position as well, which can be really useful if you've got a limited number of players available to you. But again, that's how you do the training side. Tactics, you can get them to do all the tactics and opposition instructions for you, etc. I wouldn't do it. Opposition instructions, I probably would, because I quite like them doing it for me, especially in the first few seasons, to get an idea and a feel for it. But if you want to take control of it to the nth degree, by all means take control of absolutely everything within them areas. In terms of the match itself, I think this is one that you should absolutely keep control of yourself, especially for the first team. Like I said, under 20s and under 18s and friendlies, I'm not bothered about whatsoever. In fact, leading friendly matches, I'm going to delegate that, because I'm not interested in taking charge of the friendly matches. I'm only interested in the competitive games, and that's just me. You might be slightly different, but again, it's tailored to suit the way you want to play the game. And again, set pieces, we're going to look at them in a later video, but you can just let your coaches do it for you. And again, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on if I think it's working. If I don't think the set piece is working, I might get in there and really start to tweak it myself. Hopefully that's given you a good overview of the staff page. I know it's quite a short video and a quick one this time. I can't understate the importance of getting this right, really. If you get all the right players in place, certainly from a realising your full potential side for your players, it's massive. If you're just signing all the best players and you know exactly who you want, probably not as interested in like the recruitment side, but certainly the medical and the coaching stuff I think is an absolute must-have. Once again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to cover in a future video, and until next time, enjoy yourself.